Hi, I'm Dwight with Good Sounds. This is the 12th and final video in a multi-part series dealing with theatrical sound production. Today, we're going to discuss mixing your show and offer you a few tips that can help make it easier to manage. If you have followed along through the previous 11 videos, then hopefully you've gained some understanding of the methods that we use to help us manage our shows successfully and provide the best sound experience we can for our listeners. In our fourth video, we gave you tips on how to set gain structure that will help you achieve the best volume that you can get. If you follow that method, then you are already setting up your mixer in a way that can make mixing the show much easier. Our process of setting gain structure includes placing the faders at unity and then adjusting the gain until you reach the desired volume that you want. Once you have all of your faders set in this way, your console will look like this. Now, it isn't realistic to think that after completing that first detailed mic check, that no adjustments will ever need to be made. You will probably discover pretty quickly during rehearsals that the actors are projecting much more than they did during mic check. That's pretty normal. But making adjustments at this point is simple. But it may not be the adjustments you're expecting. I strongly suggest that any initial adjustments relating to volume be done with the gain knob, while leaving the faders at unity. After some time, these adjustments will be less and less. By showtime, you may not even need to make any more volume adjustments at all. This will allow you to mix your show with your faders at unity, which is much easier than having peaks and valleys created by different channel fader positions, like this. Now, any minor adjustments that need to be made can be done so by adjusting the channel fader slightly. These changes will probably be necessary during musical numbers when actors are singing, or when needing to mix several actors in ensemble numbers. It's much more pleasing to the eye and far less distracting to see a consistency in the faders, and it helps to keep track of where volumes need to be. If you have faders scattered all over the place, it will get very confusing as the show continues to understand where volumes need to be and why certain faders are in certain positions. You always want to know that when you unmute the channel, the volume is going to be where it needs to be. And that is much easier to control when your faders are all at the same location. If I need to adjust faders during certain places like ensemble numbers, then I immediately return the faders to the unity position because I know that is where they need to be most of the time, and now they're ready for me the next time I need to unmute that channel. Obviously, by keeping the faders at unity, you can clearly see that we use the method of muting and unmuting faders instead of raising and lowering faders. We like this style of mixing because it will allow us to focus mainly on the mute buttons, and we can mute and unmute many more channels at one time a lot more quickly than we can raising and lowering faders. However, I will say that even if you want to use the faders to turn the mics on and off, returning the faders to unity in order to turn the mic on will still provide a much easier time mixing because you will know exactly where your fader needs to return to in order to get the volume that you want. You may even want to place a piece of tape across the board to define the location your faders need to be when turning on the mic. Of course, this process is only necessary if you are running the show manually and not using a cue list from a digital mixer or software. In this case, you can have cues recalled much like a lighting console, where the push of a button will automatically mute or unmute channels or raise or lower faders. Actually, this cue method is something that we have become very accustomed to with our digital mixers and a program called Palladium from CH Sound Design. In fact, we expect to be producing some instructional videos specifically on this incredible program, so please look for those in the near future. In the meantime, you can research Palladium and other related software from Chris Hubbard at chsounddesign.com. You can always check us out on Facebook or at goodsounddesign.com. If you have any questions regarding theatrical sound production, please let us know. We would love to help. And as always, thanks for joining us here at Good Sounds. And remember, if it can't be heard, it can't be good.